Come silently and approach this scene of infinite forests, whose beauty has remained intact down through the centuries. A land of contrasts built on the 1,001 stories of mankind, Extremadura is a fountain of nature and vivid colors. All at the same time, it is silent and melodious, festive, modern and lovely. You will find this land by following the long migration routes mapped out by the birds. And when you arrive, you will understand why each year millions of birds return to this region in the south of Europe to enjoy their own private paradise. And by then, you will find yourself living forever in the hearts of its people. Almost without realizing it, you will be swept up by the aromas of a land imbued with the spirit of wood and cork, where seemingly enchanted villages and cities rise up to the sky. Where the snow is made of cherry blossoms, and the gorgeous shout as they plow through the fertile slopes of the northern mountains. A simultaneously exuberant and mysterious land. Affordable, close by, and beautiful. Come and discover the secret of such harmony. If you make the journey, you will discover the true legend of Extremadura in the eyes of its people. Visit every corner of its carpeted pasture lands and slowly walk its paths over the horizon. And then rest at sundown in its villages and listen to the echoes of the history, culture, and art of mankind. In Extremadura's cities, the traveler is steeped in the history written on stones thousands of years old and which still resounds in the silence of its streets. In its fields, one learns the language of the wind, of the birds, and of the woods. One learns to read the surroundings and see the signs of time, and to respect the environment as one does oneself. When boating on its rivers and lakes, one spies an endless inland coast that is unequaled in all of Europe. There, where the sun is reflected and the light spills over the vineyards and farmlands, an infinite sea spreads out where the sky meets the water. Nature's cathedral with its multicolored facade. The forest and the steppes in the same landscape. Valleys and mountains able to draw fascinated looks at each bend in the road. No one is a stranger in this noble place, where the restless find adventures and the calm discover tranquility, where life is conceived from a different perspective, and one can breathe the pure air of the endless fields. This ancient land has transformed paths and livestock trails to build bridges to the outside world, combining the most advanced infrastructures with one of the best preserved wilderness areas on the planet. Tradition and the future at the same time, natural preserves and sustainable development. rest in its spas, inns and hotels, in forgotten corners that seem to exist only in your imagination. And you will enjoy monastic silence and an effervescent metropolitan cultural offering, all at the same time. Magical nights at a moonlit theatre 2,000 years old. Enjoy this young, dynamic and attractive land. And it will captivate you with the scent of its trees and the colors of its flowers. But also with the modernity of its cities and the generous nature of its people, who receive the traveler with the joy of fiestas and succulent banquets. Extremadura. So little known and yet so close. A legendary land where the sacred forest of the Celts remains almost untouched. A wild land. Towns where the medieval spirit still breathes. An extensive archaeological site where Arab, Roman and Jewish artifacts lie in layers in the primitive soil. An open-air museum that reveals a melting pot of cultures that are mankind's heritage. A land that follows in the footsteps of the Via de la Plata. North-south road, the path where peace reigns and where to lose oneself is to find oneself. To walk this silver way is to dive into a paradise for the senses. Come to Extremadura. Come to the place where the traveler finds rest and the reflections of the history of mankind. Let the wind bring you here, and before you know it, you will fall in love with this singular corner of the world. Touch, see, taste, smell, hear. Experience Extremadura with all 5 senses.